Good morning and welcome into Dave Blue Field at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark here in Rapid City. It's your Post 22 Hardhats and taking on the Yankton Post 12 Bucks here at Dave Blue Field. Adam Birch alongside you and bringing you all the coverage of this doubleheader, and we welcome those who usually watch Yankton on KYNTV, simulcasting on KYNT radio as well in Yankton, and welcome to those folks tuning in. Yankton Post 12 enters at 19-6 record. Post 22 Hardhats 27-16 record after finishing up their tournament down in Omaha, Nebraska. Rugby Reichen steps in on the right side, and Jacobs misses. There's a foul ball, and we're underway at 11:02 local Mountain Time. Palmer Jacobs is the right-hander for Post 22, the starter on the mound. And Reichen fouls it away, backing out of play, 0-2. Rugby Reichen, the left fielder, Joe Goki, the pitcher, then Lucas Kamshoff, the third baseman. For Yankton. Bouncer, a line drive up the middle, and a sliding grab by Zeke Farley in center field for out number 1. Nice grab to start off the ball game. So 1 out, nobody on. First pitch to Njogoki, misses down and away for ball 1. Rest of the Post 12 lineup after Dylan Prouty, the first baseman. He bats fourth. Two balls and no strikes now on Goki. Cody Oswald, the center fielder, fifth. Drew Reichen, the shortstop, sixth. Samuel Kamshoff, the right fielder, seventh. 3 balls and no strikes on Goki. Jace McCorkle, the catcher, batting eighth. And Mac Reichen, the second baseman, bats ninth for Post 12. 3-0 is a called strike 1 right across the knees. 3 balls and a strike. Jacobs kicks and deals and misses a touch upstairs right above the letters reading Post 12 across the chest of Goki, and a 1-out walk drawn by Goki. Here's Lucas Kamshoff. Third baseman bats from the right side. 1 on, 1 gone, scoreless top of the first here in Rapid City. Jacobs kicks and deals and misses inside for ball 1. Palmer Jacobs coming into play on the mounds. 52 2/3 innings. This is his 8th start. This one pop up on the right side. Hollick gives chase, but it's out of play. And off the press box over my head. 1 ball and 1 strike on Lucas Kamshoff. So 52 2/3, 8th start for Palmer Jacobs. He holds a 5-3 record, 1 save in 1 opportunity, 45 hits, 30 runs, 27 earned, 54 strikeouts to just 18 walks, and a 3.59 ERA for the Post 22 starter. 1-1, misses upstairs with a breaking ball, 2 balls and a strike. Goki off of first with 1 out. Takes off for second. The pitch is outside for a ball to throw down is to the shortstop side of second. Backed up on the play by the shortstop Wilson Kiefer, and Goki swipes second base. 3 balls and a strike now on Lucas Kamshoff. Runner on second now and one gone. Jacobs sidesteps and delivers, and it's swung on and missed. Count runs 4 to 3 and 2. Jacobs works solely out of the stretch, working out of the stretch with a runner on base. Middle infield, kind of both protecting that second base bag. Holding Goki on. The payoff pitch, a bouncer up the middle, fielded by Kiefer on a hop. He fires to first, in time, out number 2. Joe Goki goes to third on the play.
Up to the plate, number 2, Dylan Prouty.
Scored 6 to 3 in the book for out number 2. Here's Dylan Prouty, the first baseman. Prouty bats from the right side against Jacobs. Runner on third and 2 gone. We're still scoreless in the top of the first. First pitch, breaking ball, hits the knees, and it's called strike 1. Gorgeous day for baseball, approaching 80 degrees. Wind blowing right to left. A high pop up right side and out of play. Now 0-2 on Prouty. Jacobs works with Solano behind the plate. He flashes the signs, and Jacobs comes set at the belt, side steps and deals. It's a bouncer, diving stop by Henny, and it rolls right past his glove and into left field. It's an RBI single for Dylan Prouty, and Yankton on the board first. It's 1-0. Look for a second, that Riker Henny held onto that ball, and it just trickled underneath his glove into shallow left field. Knocked it down for the most part, but it's an RBI base knock. And a 1-0 Yankton lead. Here's Cody Oswalt. Left-handed bat, looks at strike 1 on the outer edge, 0-1. Jacobs rolls the baseball behind his back, takes a peek at first, comes set. The 0-1, down and away, blocked by Solano. 1 ball, 1 strike. Defensive alignment for the Hardhats in left field, Amorian Saylor, Zeke Farley, the center fielder, and Harrison Good in right field. The 1-1 to Oswalt. Bouncer right side, fielded by the second baseman Marsh. He fires in time to first for out number 3. 1-0 Yankton after 1/2 inning of play. Hardhats to bat for the first time here in Rapid City against Post 12. You're listening to Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on Hardhats TV and simulcasting on KYNC Radio in Yankton.
We have 1 run on 1 hit and 1 left. More
We are your community. We are your neighbors. Our family of doctors are invested in our community. At Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, we are honored to help you along the journey from injury to recovery. You have a choice with Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you.
Zeke Farley to lead things off here in the bottom of the first, and he looks at ball 1, a touch outside from Joe Goki on the mound, and Farley looks at a called strike 1, even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Farley at the plate this season bats .432 for the Hardhats in that leadoff spot. He looks at a breaking ball high and tight, 2 balls and a strike. Goki, a right-hander on the mound, sports number 5 on his back, and in his red jersey, he winds, kicks, and deals, and Farley fouls it away right side out of play. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Hardhats leadoff man. They trail 1-0 after 1/2 inning of play. An RBI single by Dylan Prouty in the top of the first. Breaking ball misses down in the turf, blocked by the catcher, Jason McCorkle, and the count runs forward to 3-2. Goki into the wind, kicks and deals the payoff pitch down and in, ball 4. So the Hardhats gain a speedy base runner of Zeke Farley to lead off their offensive afternoon. And that'll bring up Amarian Saylor. Saylor bats from the right side. Sports a .378 average coming into play. And he looks at ball 1 outside. Farley off of first, 1-0 Yankton. Here in Rapid City. Hardhats batting for the first time, trying to counter. And Farley dives back in on a pickoff attempt by Goki. One and 0 the count to Amarian Saylor, set and delivers, and Saylor lines one to right field, right at Samuel Kampschoff, and he makes the grab for out number 1. Farley back to first.
Number 22, Wyatt Anderson.
Brings up the 3 spot of Wyatt Anderson. He's the designated hitter today for the Hardhats. Defense alignment for post 12. It's Rugby Reichen in left field, Cody Oswalt, the center fielder, and, as mentioned, Samuel Kampschoff, the right fielder. First pitch to Anderson, chop foul right over Coach Torvey's head, and he does not move. 0-1. On the infield, Lucas Kampschoff at the hot corner, Drew Reichen, the shortstop, Mac Reichen, the second baseman, and Dylan Prouty, the first baseman, with Jason McCorkle, other half of the battery mate, doing the catching for Joe Goki. Our pickoff attempt on Zeke Farley before the 0-1. And Farley dives back in safely. The right-hander side steps and deals, and it's popped up right side out of play towards the bullpen area. No balls and 2 strikes on Wyatt Anderson. The 0-2. Outside by a touch, just missed that outside corner. Goki kind of comes down in 3/4 sidearm kind of slot. Different look than the Hardhats have seen. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and Anderson actually foul tipped it into the glove of McCorkle. He goes down swinging either way for out number 2. First strikeout of the game for Joe Goki. Now Harrison Good, runner on first after leadoff walk, 2 outs. Harrison Good at the plate, he's the right fielder. Good bats from the right side. Runner takes off for second, the pitch is a ball. The throw down is a little bit late, and Farley dives in with a stolen base. Good up in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Hardhats currently trailing 1-0 to Yankton. And Good goes after the 1-0, fouls it straight back and out of play, even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Harrison Good this season entering at a .325 average and .847 OPS. Usually in that cleanup spot for the Hardhats. The 1-1. Down and away, scooped by McCorkle. 2 balls and a strike. McCorkle flashes the signs to Goki and goes down to a knee behind the plate, the 2-1. Low and away, 3 balls and a strike. McCorkle down to kind of that new style crouch, going down to a knee, or laying the one leg out to the side instead of the natural crouch position for a catcher. Good fouls away to 3-1, and now 3-2 with 2 gone and a runner on second. Tap to the plate on the right side. Goki toes the rubber once again, right down the middle. Throws the baseball behind his back and now comes set at the belt to payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Harrison Good draws a 2-out walk. Puts runners on first and second now for the Hardhats. Big spot for Riker Henny. Hardhats trail 1-0 after Yankton's run in the top of the first. Threatening here, 2 on first and second. Farley dancing around at second base. Nobody holding him on. And Henny goes after the first pitch. Upward zone fastball. And swings right through a 0-1. Riker Henny, the third baseman, fouls away the 0-1 off the mask of the catcher McCorkle. Our umpires here today, Mike Deming, the home plate umpire, with Nathan Montgomery in the field. 0-2 on Riker Henny. Taps the plate on the right side and waves the bat head out in front. Farley off of second, Good off of first. A 2-strike pitch from Goki. Up and away. Ball 1. Henny bats .320 coming into play. The 1-2. Popped up behind the plate, but out of play. And he stays alive. A 738 OPS for Riker. 24 hits, 21 singles, and 3 doubles. 15 runs batted in. The 1-2 once again from Goki. And Goki will step off and look Farley back to second. Just kind of dancing around there with Mac Reichen closing in. 1-2, a high fly ball right at the center fielder Cody Oswald. Can of corn for him, and he makes the grab for out number 3. Hardhats strand a couple, and they trail 1-0 after 1 inning of play. You're listening to Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on Hardhats TV and simulcasting on KYNC Radio in Yankton. Welcome back to Rapid City for the top of inning number 2, post 12 and post 22. Palmer Jacobs back to the mound. His Hardhats trailing 1-0 after 1 inning in the first inning. A bouncer right side, Riker Henny, bobbled at third. He gathers and will have no throw, so it'll be a leadoff error for Drew Reichen to reach. The shortstop reaches on the E5. Just a 2-bounce, hard-hit ball, and kind of took a high bounce off the heel of Henny's glove. Results in the air. Now Samuel Kampshoff. First pitch misses high right at the eye level. 1 ball and no strikes. Kamshoff bats from the right side. Comes into play. 3 hits and 34 at-bats. 2 balls and no strikes on Kamshoff now. Pickoff move over to first. It goes wild and up the right field line, up to second, and goes Reichen. He rounds second, heads for third. The throw comes in, and it's not in time. Another error. Sloppy mistakes for the Hardhats early on in the second inning. An E5 to start off the inning, and then an E1 that results in 2 bases and a runner at third, nobody out. Samuel Kamshoff, the 2-0, fly ball right side out of play, right by the bullpen area of Yankton. 2 balls and a strike on Kamshoff, the right fielder, followed by Jace McCorkle, the catcher, and Mac Reichen, the second baseman. Jacob set the 2-0, bouncer right back up the middle into center field, and a run comes in to score. RBI single for Samuel Kamshoff. And Yankton takes a 2-0 lead.
Up to the plate, number 50, Jace McCorkle.
Here's Jace McCorkle. No batting gloves on the right side for McCorkle. Runner on first, nobody out, 2-0 Yankton. First pitch to McCorkle, he drops down a bunt, but it's foul. Right by the Hardhats dugout, up the third base line, 0-1. McCorkle on the season, coming into play, batting .277. 736 OPS. The 0-1 from Jacobs. Runner takes off for second. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw down is not in time. Shortstop side of second, and Kamshoff has a stolen base. 0-2. The breaking ball swung on by McCorkle, puts him in an 0-2 deficit. Jacobs set, and the 0-2. Bouncer left side on a high hop to Wilson Kiefer. He fires to first for out number 1. Up to third goes Kamshoff. And once again, Yankton has a man on third base with less than 2 outs. 6-3 in the book for out number 1 goes McCorkle. Here's Mac Reichen. Second baseman looks at a called strike 1. Lower inside edge. No balls and a strike. Mac Reichen bats .354 coming into play. And he looks at a called strike 2. Right at the knees, about the same spot. No balls and 2 strikes to count. 1 out, runner on third. The 2-strike pitch, touch outside, 1-2. Reichen an .843 OPS. And he waves that pitch in the turf. Solano fires down to first to complete the strikeout for out number 2. Kamshoff holds up at third base, even with the ball in the turf. Didn't get away from Solano that much. And it's a strikeout and a 2-3 put out for out number 2. Top of the order now for post 12. And it's Rugby Reichen. White batting gloves on the right side, and Reichen looks at a called strike 1 right above the knees, 0-1. Reichen flied to center his first time up. Kind of a line drive that Zeke finally had to slide and make the grab. 0-1, misses low. Breaking ball that time from Jacobs. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at third, 2 gone. 2-0 Yankton, a run in each of the first 2 innings so far here in Rapid City. The 1-1 downstairs, gets away from Solano and rolls all the way back to the backstop. And Kamshoff dives in safely on the wild pitch. It's 3-0 post 12. Yankton played up in Spearfish last night. And Riken looks at ball 3 outside. (3-1), low and away, ball 4. So a 2-out walk drawn by Rugby Riken. Brings up the pitching counterpart of Palmer Jacobs and Joe Goki. Post 12 took both games last night in Spearfish. 9-4 the victory in game 1, 11-10 the victory in game 2. Jacobs sidesteps and deals, Yankton lead. Jacobs kicks and deals and misses low. Blocked by Solano. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Goki walked and scored the lone run in the first inning. And even 1-1 count here. No batting gloves on the right side. Pickoff move over to first, and it hits Rugby Riken right in the back. Otherwise, that one might have gone wild too, and Riken kind of shaking up on the play. He looks to be all right. Got up a little bit slowly. Gives a thumbs up to the dugout though, and quickly takes his lead. Jacobs likes the sign, and the 1-1. Riken takes off for second. The pitch is a strike. The throw down in time to get Riken caught stealing, and that's out number 3. Yankton adds 2 more runs and lead 3-0 after 1.5 innings of play. The Hardhats try and counter in their half of the second after this on Hardhats TV and simulcasting on KYNC Radio in Yankton. Donor Marsh bats from the right side as we welcome you back for the bottom of inning number 2. Hardhats trailing 3-0 the post 12 out of Yankton. And Donor Marsh turns out of the way, but it brushed the jersey of Marsh. Goki kind of puzzled to where that hit Marsh, and it didn't look like from my vantage point that it hit Donor Marsh at all, but a very weak hit batter. Starts off the second inning for the Hardhats, and at this point they need base runners. Here's Aiden Hollick, and Hollick looks at a called strike 1 right at the knees, outer edge, 0-1. So a runner off of first and nobody out. Goki set, and the 0-1 found back and out of play. Over by the indoor facility. 0-2 on Hollick. Hayden Hollick enters at a .313 average and .879 OPS. 21 hits and 67 at-bats, for the Hardhats first baseman. The 0-2, runner takes off for second, and Hawk just got a piece of it. Marshall will have to trot on back. So Marsh off first. 0-2 the count on Hollick. Brief delay for some new baseballs by our home plate umpire. The 2-strike pitch outside by a touch on Hollick. A ball and 2 strikes. Koki twirls the baseball behind his back. A peek at Marsh, comes set, the 1-2. Marsh takes off for second, a line drive, base hit in right center field. That'll roll all the way to the wall. Marsh will come in and score easily. Hollick stumbles around first and twists his ankle. He just hobbles back to first base. And as for time, Hayden Hollick is in some pain right on first base. And you never like to see that. Had at least a double written all over it. The score is 3-1. Give the RBI to Hollick. And just a somber mood from the spectators here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark. A morning-afternoon doubleheader here in Rapid City against Yankton. Plenty of time to travel back home for post 12. Hollick still in a lot of pain. They're working on his left leg. And from my vantage point, what looked to be an ankle might be something far worse. And we hate to speculate anything. Just trying to stretch it out, that left leg. Hollick will be helped to his feet. So Hayden Hollick will come out of this ball game. Looks like Alex Dietrich will run for him and take over first base. RBI single for Hollick, it's 3-1, and Hollick being helped off by trainer from Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Wyatt Anderson, one of the seniors on this ball club. And now after that, the Hardhats will have to dig back in their mindset and continue to play this ball game. Jake Solano, the new batter for the Hardhats. It's a runner on first, 3-1. Dietrich off of first, and Solano looks that ball one low and away. Solano, the catcher for the Hardhats, day off on Sunday, along with Amarian Saylor and Zeke Farley. Final game in Omaha. High fly ball down the right field line, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Solano caught the barrel that time. And he comes in batting .254 on the season. Dietrich off of first, the 1-1. high fly ball to right field. This one playable for the right fielder Samuel Kamshoff, and a step in foul territory. He makes the grab for out number 1. Dietrich holds up at first.
Up to the plate, number 16, Wilson Kiefer.
And now Wilson Kiefer. Kiefer bats from the right side, drops down a bunt in front of third baseman. Going to be a tough play. Kiefer beats it out. No throw, and now the throw to second, and Dietrich stays put there. Good heads-up play by Wilson Kiefer. The third baseman, Lucas Kamshoff, was playing relatively back, and Kiefer just dropped a bunt down right in front of him.
Number 28,
Beat it out. An infield bunt single for Kiefer puts the top of the lineup back to the plate in Zeke Farley. 2 on, 1 out. Hardhats trailing 3-1. Goki kicks and deals, and the first pitch fouled off the foot of the catcher McCorkle. 0-1. Hardhats finished 3-3 in Omaha. One of those victories, a forfeit victory, because team was unable to make the trip to Omaha. 0-1 misses a touch outside, even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Farley walked, stole second, was stranded there in the first inning. That's for the second time here in the second. A bouncer right back to Goki. Fires the second. They step on the second base bag. Flip to first in time. It's a 1-6-3 inning ending double play. The Hardhats get 1, but that's it. They trail 3-1 after 2. And we'll be back for the third right here on Hardhats TV and KYNT Radio in Yankton.
Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson & Ashmore has provided a full range of legal services for over 40 years in Rapid City. As one of the largest and highly respected law firms in western South Dakota and multi-state region, our expert team of diversified attorneys offer a very personalized style of legal representation. Whether it's support and recommendations with legal documents or the strongest proponent in a court of law, trusting who you hire as your advocate is vital in achieving the best results. Contact the experienced professionals today at Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson & Ashmore Attorneys at Law.
Welcome back to Rapid City, top of inning number 3, and Yankton holding on to a 3-1 lead over your post-22 Hardhats here in Rapid City. Joe Goki was at the plate when Rugby Reichen was caught stealing to end the second inning, so he bats fresh count here against Palmer Jacobs to start the third. 1-0, and it's popped up sky high and out of play. Lands right on top of my head on the roof of the press box and becomes strike 1. One ball and 1 strike on Goki. He walked, stole second, and scored in the first inning. The lone run in the first, 2 in the second for Yankton. The Hardhats countered with 1 of their own in the bottom of the second. Called strike 2, a breaking ball at the top of the zone, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind continuing to howl right to left here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark, and the 1-2 misses downstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hardhats in their all-white uniforms, white tops, white pants. Rapid City across the chest in red. And a line drive foul off the netting above the Yankton dugout. Count remains 2-2. A red stripe down the side of the pant leg for the Hardhats. 2-2. Breaking ball misses outside, and now the count runs full to 3-2 to the leadoff man here in the third. Yankton sports a red top, post 12 across the chest in white number on their back. And Goki fouls away to 3-2. Backing out of play. A white, a blue, and another white stripe on the ends of the sleeves. White pants. Goki chops one to Henny at third. Backhand stop off his back foot. He fires across in time to Dietrich for out number 1. Nice play by Riker Henny, showing off the arm strength in the deep 5 gap behind the third base bag.
Up to the plate, number 10, Campshot.
And he throws out Goki for out number 1. Here's Lucas Campshot. Campshot bounces short his first time at the plate, and he looks at ball 1 low. Lucas Campshot batting .473 coming into play and 1194 OPS. That over 25 games. Quite the season so far for Campshot. He looks at ball 2 down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 bouncer right side, fielded by Marsh. Bobbled a little bit. He regathers, fires the first in time, and plenty of time for out number 2. So a 5-3 and a 4-3 in the book for the 2 quick outs here in the third. Now Dylan Browdy. Browdy bats from the right side, batting .273 coming into play. Just a .658 OPS. And it looks at ball 1 high. Red batting gloves to go along with a red and black bat. The 1-0. Half swing, it's a called strike 1. Didn't need the appeal that time. 1 ball and 1 strike, Jacobs. Set, kicks, and deals the 1-1 downstairs, and now Solano's shaking up. Took a weird hop and hit the inside of the leg on Solano, presumably. Our home plate umpire, Mike Deming, walks the baseball out to Jacobs and gives Solano a little extra time. Gives him a pat on the back. 2 balls and a strike on Prouty. 2-1. High, ball 3. 3-1 our score in favor of Yankton post 12. 3-1. Inside, ball 4. Prouty draws a walk, so he remains 1 for 1. An RBI single back in the first. Here's Cody Oswald. Left-hander steps in on the left side and bats with a runner on first and 2 gone. First pitch from Jacobs hits the outer edge, called strike 1, 0-1. Oswald bounced to the right side, right where Dylan Marsh is stationed. A pseudo shift. Hardhats playing to pull, with Kiefer playing right behind the second base bag from his shortstop position. Riker Henny, the only fielder on the left side of the infield. 1-1, fouled away, left side out of play. A ball and 2 strikes on Oswald. He comes into play batting .397, just 3 ticks under 400. No batting gloves on the left side. The 1-2 from Jacobs. Fly ball left field. Amarian Saylor underneath of it. Loses his hard hat, but makes a grab. Out number 3. Yankton fails to score for the first time. They put up a 0 in that column. And in inning number 3, we head to the bottom of the 3rd after this on Hardhats TV and KYNC Radio in Yankton. Bottom of inning number 3, Amarian Saylor to lead things off for the Hardhats, and he looks at a called strike 1 from Joe Gilkey. Saylor bats from the right side. He flied to right field his first time. Gilkey winds, kicks, deals, and a chopper up the middle. Kind of a weird bounce on the shortstop, but it fires to first in time. A bang-bang play at first, and Drew Reichen throws him out. 6-3 in the book. Saylor is 0 for 2. Brings up Wyatt Anderson. 1 out, nobody on. Anderson struck out swinging for the second out in the first inning. And he chops one foul left side. A hard hat will chase it down. 0-1. Gilkey on the mound this season, 27 2/3. This is his 7th appearance, 5th start. A 3-1 record. Anderson fouls another one away. This time to the right side. And 1.01 ERA for Gilkey. The 0-2 down and away. $15 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned for Gilkey. 26 strikeouts to 7 walks. Anderson looks at ball 2 downstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Empty base paths with 1 out. 3-1 Yankton. A .8 whip percentage for Gilkey. Count runs 4-3-2. He missed just outside the outside edge. Into the wind, he kicks and deals the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Anderson goes down swinging for the second time, and it's out number 2. Second strikeout for Gilkey, both on Wyatt Anderson, the victim. And now Harrison good. Good drill walk his first trip at the plate. Was stranded aboard first base. A first pitch breaking ball misses outside for ball 1. Gilkey, the wind, the kick, and the pitch. Misses downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on for the Hardhats. They trail 3-1. First of a 2-game doubleheader here this afternoon in Rapid City. Good, pops it up, a high pop-up, right side, drifting foul territory in play, and Gilkey can't make the play. Looked like McCorkle and Gilkey converging on that play, but Might have been a little bit miscommunication. It just drops right by the backstop area to the left of the Yankton dugout. So new life for Harrison Good. 2 balls and a strike, here it is. And the breaking ball hits the outer edge. 2's across the board now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Two, outside and low. Count runs full once again to Harrison Good. Riker Henny on deck should this inning continue. Goki winds, kicks, deals, and the payoff popped up behind the plate and out of play. Good will see at least one more pitch. Payoff once again, and Good ducks out of the way of a high fastball inside. Draws a 2-out walk. So Harrison Good's been on base twice today. More than any other hard hat can say. Here's Riker Henny. And he flies to center his first trip at the plate, and he looks at ball 1 high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Goki up over 50 pitches in the bottom of the 3rd. That was his 52nd. Here's his 53rd. The 1-0. Good takes off for second. It swung on and missed. The throw down is not in time. Good just got his hand in. Kind of avoided the legs and the cleats of the second baseman, Mac Reichen. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Man on second, 2 gone. The 1-1. High inside, a breaking ball, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Goki toes the rubber once again. Kicks and deals, and Henny bounces it to short. On a couple hops, Drew Reichen fires across in time, out number 3. And the Hardhats strand another base runner in scoring position and fail to score. It's 3-1 after 3 in favor of Yankton Post 12. We're back for the 4th after this on Hardhats TV and KYNC Radio in Yankton. Welcome back to Rapid City, top of inning number 4. Yankton holding on to a 3-1 advantage for Palmer Jacobs and the Hardhats. Jacobs back to the hill, he kicks and deals. The first pitch to Drew Reichen. Runs inside and hits him. Looks like a fastball kind of got away. Reichen just takes his base. He's been on base for the 2nd time. Reached on an error his first time at the plate. Now Samuel Kampshoff. RBI single his first trip at the plate. Looks at ball 1 inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Jacobs' last outing came in Omaha. And Kampschoff swings through the 1-0. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Got the start against team from Bryant, Arkansas. Pickoff move over to first, snagged by Dietrich, but it's not in time. Reichen dives back in. Jacobs went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 6 runs, all earned. Pitched well up until the 6th inning. A slow rolling ball, kind of a swinging bunt. Jacobs fields and hangs on to it. No play to get Kampschoff. It's an infield single. Everyone's safe. Reichen up to second. Kampschoff at first is second base knock. And our umpires converging to see if that was a foul ball. And everyone's safe. Looked like that might have hit off the plate. But they discuss and say it did not. So 2 on, nobody out. Dietrich in front of the base runner at first. Here's Jace McCorkle, a bouncer to short his first time at the plate. Squares the bunt early, pulls back, and it misses down and away. Dietrich crashing hard on that play. McCorkle showing bunt very early. Heading in line with the third base bag. And it drops the bunt down foul up the third base line. Henny fields in foul territory. It's just strike 1. So McCorkle will have another opportunity to try and drop down a successful bunt. Two on, nobody out. Hardhats trail by 2. It's 3-1. McCorkle squares again and drops down a bunt right in front of Jacobs. He fires the third, and in time, a nice play by Wilson Kiefer. He towed the base immediately in time, and now our umpires will discuss, and our home plate umpire says that it's the field umpire's call. Immediately, the coach down there at third argued that play. Our umpires will discuss things and see. Runner has not moved. A bang bang play, and they do rule out. So 1-6, the out at third base. Wilson Kiefer covered third base, and the Hardhats take down the lead base runner for out number 1. McCorkle reaches on the fielder's choice. Here's Mac Reichen. He struck out and was out on a 2-3 put out his first time at the plate. A high pop up to center field. And finally, underneath of it, he makes a grab for out number 2. Boy, what a big out that was. Heads up play all around. Kiefer covering third with Henny crashing. And Jacobs, because that ball was right back to him, literally, he had to take 2 steps off the mound and immediately fire. And Kiefer had to snag the ball and tow the base all at the same time. Bang, bang play, he was out. So 2 outs, 2 on. First pitch to the top of the order. Rugby Reichen looked at for ball 1 outside. The 1-0. Right across the belt, called strike 1. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Reichen flied to center in the first, walked, and was caught stealing to end the second. Bouncer right side, Dylan Marsh. On the ground, he fires the short way to second in time, out number 3. And Yankton held off the scoreboard once again in the 4th. 3-1, the Yankton lead. Hardhats to bat right after this on Hardhats TV and simulcasting on KYNC Radio in Yankton. Welcome back to Rapid City. The Hardhats trailing 3-1 to Yankton post 12. And Dylan Marsh to lead things off for the Hardhats against Joe Goki. Marsh was hit by a pitch, although it just brushed his jersey. And he scored the lone run for the Hardhats in the second inning. Adam Birch alongside you, bringing you the coverage here in Rapid City on Hardhats TV and simulcasting on KYNC Radio in Yankton. Marsh looks at a called strike 1. A breaking ball hits the outside edge. 0-1. 0-1 misses outside. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Once again, we welcome those who usually watch Yankton on KYN TV. Marsh, a high fly ball hooking left field corner. That ball's back and it's high off the wall, right below the Mix Electric sign. Marsh rounds second, thought about going to third, and wisely decides against it. It's a leadoff double for Dylan Marsh. And Marsh on base for the second time. Here's Alex Dietrich. First at bat for Dietrich in place of the injured Hollick. Dietrich bats from the right side and looks at ball 1, a breaking ball down and away. Alex Dietrich comes in batting .247, a .702 OPS. Runner on second, nobody out. Tying run at the plate. The 1-0 line drive, base hit in right center field. Cut off by the left fielder and Kampschoff, and Marsh will hold up at third as the throw comes back in quickly. A single for Alex Dietrich. Back-to-back hits off of Joe Goki. Here's Jake Solano. He flying out in foul territory to the right fielder, Samuel Kampschoff. His first time. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Tying run now on base, and Solano looks at a called strike 1. Wind starting to blow a little bit in now from left center field. The 0-1, chopper left side. Backhand play by the shortstop. Wild throw, and it skips on past him and goes up the line. 1 run comes in to score, and up to third goes Dietrich. Solano to second. It's 3-2. Yankton. Hardhats still without an out. It'll bring up Wilson Kiefer. And that goes out of the dugout for Yankton. to bring in the entire infield around him on the mound. Wilson Kiefer dropped down a bunt single his first trip at the plate. An E6 on Drew Reichen to allow Solano to reach and eventually advance to second. Marsh scored on the play. It's 3-2. Alex Dietrich advanced to third base. Hardhats now out hitting Yankton 4-3. Meeting of the minds on the mound concludes. Here's Wilson Kiefer. Popped up, behind the plane, out of play. And a fun little tidbit about Wilson Kiefer. A 1 foul away, packing out of play, 0-2. Wilson Kiefer has almost the exact same batting average as fellow hard hat Cooper Bowman had at the same age of 16. And Wilson Kiefer, he's batting .261 this season. But we see how Cooper Bowman's career turned out, currently playing in the Yankees system. And Kiefer looks at ball 1, down and away. A ball and 2 strikes. Runners on second and third. The 1-2. A bouncer up the middle, past the shortstop into center field. Here comes Marsh to the plate, or Solano rather, and he will score. Up to second goes Wilson Kiefer on the throw. The Hardhats tie and take the lead, all in one at bat. And Wilson Kiefer delivers a 2-run single. It's 4-3 Rapid City. Dietrich and Solano both score. Now at the top of the order, still nobody out. First pitch to Farley, he scored a bunt, misses way outside off the backstop, and up the third goes Kiefer. Now a man 90 feet away from making this 5-3. Hardhats coming all the way back. 3 runs in this inning. The bottom of the 4th. Farley looks at ball 2 outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And now ball 3 outside. Three 3-0 the count to the Hardhats, top of the order. And Farley looks at ball 4 high. And tosses bat and tossed his protective gear back to the dugout and trot his way down to first. Here's Amarian Saylor. Still nobody out, runners on the corners. And we take a look at the Yankton bullpen. There is a right-hander warming down the right field line. Farley dives back into first on a pickoff attempt. First pitch to Saylor. Farley thought about stealing, now takes off for second, and he dives in without a throw. Kind of bluffed the steal and then went. A delayed steal or misread the sign, heard something by the first base coach. We will never know. Need to be a fly on the wall to hear that. But Saylor looks at ball 2 outside. 2 balls and no strikes, and now Goki just trying to refine the strike zone. A 4-pitch walk to Zeke Farley after the 2-run single. And now 6 straight out of the zone and make it 7, 3-0 on Amarian Saylor. 2 ducks on the pond in scoring position for the Hardhats. 4-3 Rapid City. The 3-0. And Saylor taking all the way on the 3-0. Finally back into the strike zone after 7 straight balls. Goki shakes off a sign, comes set, the 3-1. A high fly ball, deep center field. Back is the center fielder, still going back, and he makes the grab on the warning track. Holy cow, Cody Oswald. How in the world did you make that play? Just kind of laid the glove out over his head and hoped that the ball dropped into his glove, and it did. All Amarian Saylor can do is tap his hat. And it's a sacrifice fly, so it is 5-3 Hardhats as Kiefer comes in to score. Here's Wyatt Anderson. First pitch breaking ball hits the lower outside edge. 0-1. Farley at second. And Anderson looks at ball 1 outside. Farley was well off of second base, waiting as long as he could to see if that ball was caught, and then had to slam on the brakes once he realized it was. 5-3 Hardhats, and the breaking ball goes back to the backstop now. Farley up to third on the wild pitch. Anderson 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts. Goki approaching 80 pitches. This will be his 80th. The 2-1 fouled straight back to the screen. Even count 2-2. Harrison good on deck with 1 out, barring a double play ball. Goki likes the sign and comes set at the belt. Sidesteps and deals the 2-2. High fly ball to right field. Samuel Kamshoff to his left. He makes the grab for the second out. A strong throw in is up the third base line. Farley scores standing up. And it's 6-3 Hardhats on back-to-back sacrifice flies. Now the aforementioned Harrison Good. And I believe the signal from the Yankton dugout is 1 more batter. If Joe Goki cannot retire Harrison Good. That was to the bullpen. They held up 1 finger. Chopper up the third base line, foul. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Harrison Good, a pair of walks in this ball game. So no upping the average, but it ups the on-base percentage and OPS for that matter. The 1-1. Swung on and missed, pulled the string on him that time, and now down in the count 1-2. Bottom of the 4th, 6-3 Hardhats, the 1-2. High fly ball to center field. Underneath of it, Cody Oswald waiting, and he makes the grab for out number 3. But the Hardhats strike for 5 runs in their 4th inning and take their first lead of the ball game at 6-3. We're back for the 5th inning after this on Hardhats TV and simulcasting on KYNC Radio in Yankton. Welcome back to Rapid City, top of inning number 5. Adam Birch alongside you, bringing you Post 22 Hardhats baseball on Hardhats TV and simulcasting on KYNT radio in Yankton. Yankton Post 12 and your Post 22 Hardhats, 6-3 Hardhats. As we begin the top of the 5th. Line drive base hit on the first pitch into left field. And Amarian Saylor over to cut it off, but it's a leadoff single for Joe Goki. His day might be done on the mound, but at the plate, he's on for the second time. A walk and a single now, along with a bouncer to third. Scored a run in the first as well. Here's Lucas Kamshoff. 2, 3, and 4, the originally scheduled 3 for Yankton in the 5th. Against Palmer Jacobs. He looks at ball 1 low, blocked by Solano. Goki, a decent sized lead at first. Jacobs sidesteps and deals, and Kamshoff thought about it, and it hit him on the elbow. Ended up in the glove of Solano. And it's a hit batter, so first and second with nobody out for Yankton. And all of a sudden the tying run is at the plate for Post 12. Jacobs likes a sign from Solano and comes set. Peak at second, kicks and deals. The chopper up the middle, Kiefer. Steps on the second base bag himself, fires the first in time. It's a 6-6-3 double play. Kiefer, what a play. Fielded that ball in front of the second base bag, had to spin, tap on the bag, and then immediately fired to first. All in one motion, accurate and fast. And a 6-6-3 double play puts a runner on third with 2 outs. And Prouty down just like that. And here's Cody Oswald. Oswald, a chopper up the middle, fielded by Kiefer. Fires the first in time, out number 3. Wilson Kiefer have an inning defensively. And he helps the Hardhats and retain their 6-3 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Back in a moment, right here on Hardhats TV and KYNT Radio in Yankton. Welcome back to Rapid City. Bottom of inning number 5, 6-3, the Hardhats lead, and a new arm on the mound for Post 12. It's Samuel Kampschoff who moves from right field to the mound. Mac Reichen replaces him in right field. First pitch to Henny, misses high for ball 1. Looks like Drew Reichen moves from short to second. And Joe Gilkey is the new shortstop. 1-0 to Henny. A high flying ball, hooking foul right side and out of play. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Henny 0 for 2 day at the plate. He flied to center and bounced to second. Or bounced to short, rather. The far first base side of the rubber. Kampschoff into the wind, and a breaking ball hits the inside edge for a called strike 2. Henny, Marsh, and Dietrich scheduled to hit. Into the wind, Kampschoff kicks and deals the 1-2, breaking ball downstairs. 2-2. Once again, the first of a 2-game doubleheader here in Rapid City between the Hardhats and Yankton. 2-2. Bouncer right side, fielded on a hop by Dylan Prouty. He takes it to the first base bag himself, out number 1. 3 unassisted in the book, and Henny is 0 for 3. Brings up Dylan Marsh. Hit by a pitch and scored in the second. He hit a double right below the Mix Electric sign in left field his last time up. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch to Marsh. He squared the bunt, pulled back, and it's ball 1 low and away. Ball and no strikes. Kampschoff, the wind, the kick, and the deal. Popped up behind the plate. And out of play. Right into the bleacher section. About the second row of red seating here at the ballpark. Hardhats set to host the Firecracker Tournament later this week into the weekend over the 4th of July. Make sure to come on out for that. The 1-1 to Marsh. He ducks out of the way of a breaking ball and that slipped out on the hand. 2 balls and a strike. And we'll reveal the 20 Tuesday trivia answer in every Hardhats game, and special announcement to go along with that answer. The Firecracker Tournament. Marsh looks at ball 3, up and away. 3 balls and a strike, and Kampschoff slowly into the wind. He kicks and deals the 3-1. High ball for Marsh is on base for the 3rd time today. Hit by a pitch, double, and walked. Now Alex Dietrich. Dietrich is 1 for 1. He scored in the big 4th inning. Part of 5 runs to score in the 4th for the Hardhats. Kampschoff from the stretch, line drive, dropping and sinking, and it bounces on past the center fielder, Oswald. Marsh heads for 3rd. Dietrich, a big turn, but he stays put there. His 2nd single of the day. Kind of a sinking line drive. And Dietrich on base once again. This time against a new arm. So Marsh goes first to 3rd. Jake Solano will be the new batter. Runners on the corners and 1 out. Jake Solano reached on an error his last trip, eventually advanced to second, scored on the 2-run single by Kiefer. Flight out in foul territory to right in his first at-bat. Line drive right at the hot corner. Dietrich off of first and snagged on the back end. It's a double play. Nice line drive, heads up play by Lucas Kampschoff. And Dietrich got off the base for the double play. So L5-3 double play to end the Hardhats' fifth. We head to the sixth after this on Hardhats TV and KYNT Radio in Yankton. Welcome back to Rapid City. Adam Birch here to bring you Hardhats baseball on Hardhats TV. It's the top of the sixth inning, and the Hardhats hanging on to a 6-3 advantage over Yankton post 12. Drew Reichen, the second baseman, leads things off, followed by Kampschoff, the pitcher, and Jace McCorkle, the catcher. Against Palmer Jacobs. Jacobs misses high and tight for ball 1 on Reichen. Reichen was hit by a pitch his last at-bat, reached on an error and scored in the second. Pops it up right side. Dietrich gives chase, but it's out of play. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Reichen is 0 for 1. No batting gloves on the right side. Jacobs working in his 6th inning of work. 1-1. Fly ball shallow right field. Harrison Good runs underneath of it and makes the grab out number 1. Our reliever is warming in the bullpen for the Hardhats. It's not Harrison Good. It's Lee Negebauer, the southpaw. Here's Samuel Kampschoff. First pitch from Jacobs, swung on and missed 0-1. Kampschoff 2 for 2 against Palmer here today. A pair of singles and a run scored, along with a run batted in. 0-1. Breaking ball misses downstairs to the left of Solano. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jacobs just over 80 pitches now. The 1-1. Downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. One out, nobody on. Yankton's been held off the scoreboard in the runs column since the 2nd inning. Jacobs misses inside. 3 balls and a strike. 1 in the first, 2 in the second for Yankton. It's been all Hardhats since. Kamshoff pops it up right side. And off the roof over my head for strike 2. 1 run in the second for Rapid City and 5 in the fourth. That big fourth inning. Really the difference in this ball game. Payoff pitch called strike 3 right down the middle across the chest, and Kamshoff goes down looking for out number 2. Just the second strikeout of the ball game for Palmer Jacobs. And it's out number 2 in the 6th. Chase McCorkle looks at ball 1 outside. The catcher up in the count 1-0. 1-0 becomes 2 balls and no strikes as Jacobs misses downstairs. 2 outs and nobody on. Dietrich shading the line on the right side of the infield. A breaking ball hits his zone 2-1. Right above the knees. Here's the 2-1. Foul tipped off of the catcher Solano and back to the backstop. 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on and 2 gone. Jacobs ready once again. Negebauer looks to be warm. And now time is asked for by McCorkle. Hardhats will have 9-1-2 in their half of the 6th. The 2-2 fouled straight back out of play. Jacobs likes the sign from Solano, kicks and deals the 2-2, bounces in front of the plate, blocked by Solano, now 3-2. Count runs full. Everyone playing back with the 2 outs, and the 3-2 misses inside ball 4. So a 2-out base on balls drawn by Jason McCorkle. He moves to, or remains 0-2. A bouncer to short and a fielder's choice. Here's Mac Reichen. 0-2, a strikeout and a fly to center. First pitch from Jacobs, chopper foul. Right in the hand of Coach Clapperidge behind the Hardhats dugout. Clapperidge relays the signs to Solano, Solano to Jacobs. He sets up inside the 0-1. Bouncer up the middle. March underhand flips to Kiefer, and the barehand grab for out number 3. Yankton kept off the scoreboard once again. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It is 6-3 Hardhats as they come to bat here on Hardhats TV and simulcasting on KYNT Radio in Yankton.
Our attack will be number 19, Wilson Keeper.
Bottom of inning number 6 as we welcome you back to Rapid City at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark and Dave Plouffe Field. 9-1 and 2 for the Hardhats. That means Wilson Kiefer to lead things off. He's 2 for 2, a couple of singles, a run scored, and 2 driven in. Nice day at the plate for Kiefer. Scores the bunt, drops it down in front of the pitcher, Kampschoff. He bobbled it for a second and can't make a throw off. Kiefer drops down another perfect bunt. Would have been a close play if Kampschoff was able to get the fingering on the ball correctly. But Wilson Kiefer is 3 for 3. 2 infield, 1 to the outfield. Top of the order now, and Zeke Farley. Pickoff move before the first pitch to Farley, and Kiefer dives back in. Farley is 0 for 1. A couple of walks mixed in with a double play, a 1-6-3 double play. He drops down a bunt, and it dives right in front of the plate. Throw down to first by the catcher, McCorkle, in time to get Farley. Boy, that ball died right in front of the plate in fair territory. Did not have any spin on it, and it just died. You don't see that too often on turf. Sacrifice works. Kiefer up to second. Even though Farley was definitely intending on beating that out for a single. First pitch to Omari, and Saylor misses high for ball 1. Runner on second, 1 out. Saylor is 0 for 2, along with a sacrifice fly and an RBI. 6-3 Hardhats. Pickoff move back to second. Kiefer dives in. Brought a back-to-back sac flies in the 4th inning. The 5-run 4th. Kampschoff fakes a move back to second now. Kiefer had a pretty sizable lead. Drew Reichen from his second base position trying to hold him on. The 1-0 to Saylor. Breaking ball swung on and missed. He dropped down to a knee. An even count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Saylor knows he should not have gone after that one. The 1-1, Kiefer takes off for third, a high fly ball, hooking left field corner, a long run for Reichen, and he can't get there, it rolls into the corner. And Amari and Saylor up to second, swaps places with Kiefer. It's 7-3 Hardhats. So Saylor into the hit column in a big way, a double with 1 out. Another RBI for him. Scores Kiefer. Here's Anderson, runner on second, 1 gone, 7-3 Rapid City. And Anderson ducks out of the way of the first pitch for ball 1. A little smile across his face, having a couple laughs with our home plate umpire with that pitch. The 1-0. High fly ball, right center field. Over is Oswald, and it's the right fielder Reichen. Mac Reichen makes some play, throw into second, goes a little wild, ends up at third. It's out number 2. Two outs, man on second. Now for Harrison Good.
Up to the plate, number 14, Harrison Good.
Couple of walks and a fly to center for Harrison Good. Runner takes off for a third, and Saylor dives in safely. He goes up in the left field line, and Saylor will score easily. His heads up base running, and it's 8-3 Rapid City. Be a stolen base for Saylor and an error by the catcher, McCorkle. scoring the 8th run. 1-0 the count on Harrison Good. 8 empty base paths now with 2 outs. First pitch, line drive, base hit into left field. And Harrison Good into the hit column. He's on base for the 3rd time today. Now Riker Henny. Pat's coming alive here late in this ball game, providing some extra insurance runs for the Hardhats. Whether it's Lee Negebauer or Palmer Jacobs for the 7th. Line drive, short hopped on the shortstop. Goki underhand flips it for out number 3, but the Hardhats strike for 2 more runs. It's 8-3 Rapid City. We head to the top of the 7th here in Rapid City. Back in a moment right here on Hardhats TV and KYNC Radio in Yankton. Tap the Hardhats around Palmer Jacobs as he's on for the top of the 7th. Yankton will have the top of the order at the plate. That's Rugby Riken. And Riken looks at ball 1, down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Riken bounces one up the middle on the ground. Kiefer fields and fires to first in time, out number 1. And Rugby Riken is now 0 for 3. That looks to be how he'll finish game number 1, 0 for 3 with a walk. Now Joe Goki, the starting pitcher turned shortstop. Hit a single his last trip, bounced to 3rd before that, and walked and scored in the first frame. Swings through a big hack and a miss on the first pitch, 0-1. Jacobs approaching 100 pitches now. And his 97th misses inside. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Negebauer looks to be ready and waiting if needed. That one misses outside. It looked like our home plate umpire was going to call a strike, but Solano dropped the ball. It's 2 balls and a strike. 2-1. Fly ball right side, foul territory. Harrison Good gives chase, but it's out of play. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Goki and then Lucas Kampshoff. That was the 100th pitch for Jacobs. Here's 1-0-1. This is high, ball 3. Daily max for the guidelines in Legion Baseball is 105. You can finish the batter. The 3-2 bouncer left side. Wilson Kiefer charges, fires high, and it's a glove by Dietrich, out number 2. Boy, Wilson Kiefer showing off a little bit at shortstop and showing off well. Another 6-3 ground out in the book. Out number 2. 2 outs, nobody on. 8-3 Rapid City. First pitch from Jacobs to Lucas Kampschoff, misses high and tight, ball 1. Game 2. After this one, about 30 minutes in between. Called strike 1 at the knees on the outer edge. 1 ball and 1 strike. Reminder, we will end the stream on YouTube and start a new one. This one, a line drive base hit in the left center field by Kampschoff. So he's on base for the second time after being hit by a pitch in the 5th. He's 1 for 3 now. 2-out single for Kampschoff, and that might be the end of the day for Jacobs. Palmer Jacobs finishes right at 105 pitches. And a round of applause from the Rapid City faithful here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark. Shake of the hands from the coaches and teammates around him. Just about a complete game for Palmer Jacobs. He had 3 in a row at one point this season. But once again, we will end the stream on YouTube and start a new one for Game 2. Post that link on Facebook once again. Game 2 about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Originally scheduled for 1 o'clock. Actually 1:30, most likely. Looks to be around that start that, depending on how long the 3rd out of the 7th takes, barring a 5-run comeback at least from Yankton here with 2 outs. They face off against Lee Negebauer. He's the new arm. Negebauer will face Dylan Prouty, his first task. The southpaw on the mound this season, 12 1/3, 8th appearance. An 0-3 record. Most of those were very early on in the season, and an elevated 7.38 ERA. But his last couple outings have been very good. Prouty steps in on the right side, the southpaw. On the far third base side, comes set and hits the outside edge for a called strike 1. Kampschoff off of first as Lucas Kampschoff. 8-3, the advantage for Rapid City, post 22. 0-1, bouncer left side, Henny on the ground, fires the short way to second in time, out number 3, and that's the ball game. So Lee Negebauer completes the ball game, just needing 3 pitches, and an 8-3 victory for the Hardhats in Game 1 over Yankton post 12. So the Hardhats improve to 28-16 on the season. Post 12 falls to 19-7. Once again, we'll stop this stream, start a new one, and come back in about 30 minutes time for Game 2. First pitch roughly around 1:20 local Mountain Time. Until then, my name is Adam Birch. Make sure to tune in for Game 2 here between the Hardhats and Yankton.